Let's go over how to set up a credit card processor in OwnerRez. To get to payment methods, go to Settings, then scroll down and select Payment Methods. Here you'll see we currently do not have any. We can click the Connect a Payment Method button and we'll see all the available payment methods that we can connect. You can have an unlimited number of payment methods. The only limitation is that each property can only be associated with one payment method. You can have multiple credit card payment methods, but each must be associated with a different property. You can also offer other options like PayPal, or you can offer a check option or a custom option. Let's go ahead and set up an OwnerRez.net account. We'll click Connect OwnerRez.net, and here we'll see we need our login ID and our transaction key. We'll head over to OwnerRez.net, and once you're here, you'll need to go to Account, then click API Credentials and Keys. Here you'll see your API login ID. We'll go ahead and copy this, then head back to OwnerRez and paste it in the login ID box. Next we need our transaction key. We'll go ahead and head back to OwnerRez.net, then click Obtain New Transaction Key, and it gives you the option to disable old transaction keys immediately if you'd like. We'll go ahead and leave this alone. We'll click Submit, and now you'll be asked to verify your identity with a PIN. They'll send it to the email you have on file, and you'll click Request PIN. You'll need to go to that email and then enter the PIN here, then click Verify PIN. We'll go ahead and paste the PIN that we have in this box, then click Verify PIN. We see that our identity was verified and we can click Continue. Now we are given the transaction key. We can click Copy to Clipboard, then we'll head back to OwnerRez, then paste this in the transaction key box. Then we'll click Test API Credentials. Then we'll click Run Test. And now we see that the test succeeded and the credentials are correct. Now we need to select the accepted card types. We'll click all the ones that apply to us. It's important to note, what you select here does not change what you accept by the processor. It's only informational. In other words, this lets OwnerRez know what to display for Visa or MasterCard logos to the guest. For example, if you actually want to accept Amex, you have to make sure that your processor has that turned on and supported. Merely selecting the options on this page does not do that. Next, we'll need to put the credit card statement. Ours is Hall Homes. Just like the accepted credit card types, this is informational and allows OwnerRez to show guests what they'll see on the credit card statement. But this needs to match what the processor actually has on file. Merely changing it in OwnerRez will not change it with the processor. Below that, you can select the status of active, and you can select which properties you'd like this to apply to. We'll go ahead and leave this for both of our properties. Then we'll click Save. Now we see we have successfully added OwnerRez.net as a payment method. Finding API credentials is different from one processor to the next. So check out our support docs about how other processors are connected. Once you start taking bookings and running credit cards, you can go to the Reports tab, then scroll down and click Credit Card Processing History. Here you'll see all the transactions that have occurred with your credit card processor. You can select the period. We'll go ahead and leave this alone. You can select the processing types, and you can select specific things like the cardholder name, the card last 4 digits. You can select results and click approved or declined. You can specify the processor transaction. You can also specify the property or entity type, and you can specify the entity ID. We'll go ahead and click Run Report. Here will be shown all the records for your credit card processor. We see which processor we used, the type, the amount, the currency, when it occurred, how long it took, what the cardholder's name was, the card info, the results. We see some that have approved and some that have declined. And if you hover over, you'll get more information on that. You'll see the processor transaction. You'll also see the processor authorized code. You'll see which booking this applies to. You'll see the entity number and the property name. You can run this report and view it in OwnerRez just like this, but you can also export this as an Excel file if you'd like. Now let's flip over to the guest side and show what it looks like when a guest submits their credit card info. Here we have our hosted website, and we'll go ahead and click Book Now. I'll go ahead and select the property, Bear Valley. I'll put in an arrival date and a departure date. I'll select the amount of adults. This will give the guest the breakdown. And below, the guest will be asked to put in their contact information. Next, they'll click Book Now. Here they are shown their quote and what they owe. They could choose to add travel protection if they'd like. And below that, they'll see what to pay and they'll be shown how to pay. We'll go ahead and click Looks Good, Request Reservation. They'll go ahead and enter the rest of their contact info here. And next they'll be asked to sign the renter agreement. They can read through the entire agreement and then add their name at the bottom. Then they'll click I accept, submit request. And here they'll be asked to enter their credit card information. I'll go ahead and enter this information now. When they're ready, they'll click Continue to Reservation Request. Here they are shown the payment summary, and they can scroll to the bottom and click Finalize My Request. Now they see that their reservation request has been saved. Now let's jump back to OwnerRez and see what this looks like. If we go to our bookings area, we'll see we now have a booking from Judy Blow. If we click in, we'll see at the top that the booking is pending until February 9th, 2021. And we see that there's a verified card on file. We can click Confirm and Take Payment Now, or we can go to the Transactions tab and see which card they have on file, and then we can choose to click Payments, Collect Payment. We can select a custom amount or choose the remaining balance of $16.80. Then we'll see which card they have on file, and below that we could choose to send an email if we'd like. We'll go ahead and click Process Payment, and now we see the email template that will be sent to them. I'll go ahead and click Send Email. And now if we go to the overview page, we'll see that their total owed is now 0. And if you go back to the Transactions tab, we'll see the payment that has been processed. Now let's say you took a reservation over the phone and you need to create a booking and run their card using the card number they gave you over the phone. To do that, click Create Booking. You'll select the property. You select the dates. You can put the party size here, and then we'll click Create Booking. We'll go ahead and enter the guest's name and all their contact info that they gave us. Then once you do that, you'll scroll to the bottom and then click Save. Next, you want to run their card. To do that, you'll need to go to the Transactions tab, then go to Payments, then click Collect Payment. Here you can choose the amount you'd like to charge on the card, and below that, you'll be asked to enter the new credit card information. I'll go ahead and do that now. Once you've entered the information, you can scroll down to the bottom and click Process Payment. Now we see the email confirmation that will be sent to the guest. We can go ahead and click Send Email. Now we see we have collected the payment manually using the card number that we received over the phone. If you'd like to learn more about credit card processors and OwnerRez, head over to our support docs and check out the Payment Methods article. There you will find an updated list with all the credit card processors we support. If you're not sure which processor to use, contact our help desk and we'll provide detailed recommendations. That is how to connect a credit card processor in OwnerRez.